Great to see you both. Thank you so much for being here. These two candidates could not be more different when you look at sentiment, temperament, policy plans, everything. And yet, Leo, these polls are so close. Does that surprise you?
No, Maria, because I think a lot of Trump supporters are very quiet on the polls. If you look at these numbers, Trump is doing much better now than he did in 2016 in the polls and 2020 against Biden. And what's so significant is the internal numbers. Trump is breaking down the traditional Democrat groups. Blacks are going for Trump, Hispanics, union members. So if you look at these polls in Georgia, Arizona, those are good numbers when you compare it with the Trump numbers in 2020 and 2016.
What do you think, Julian?
I don't disagree with Leo. There's been a polling bias, certainly in 16 and 20, in favor of Democrats, and it's not clear the pollsters have fixed that. I still think Trump is slightly ahead in this election. I think his road is Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. And remember, in most elections, undecided voters break for the non-incumbent. And right now, Harris is the incumbent. I think people are going to start focusing on this question, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Trump didn't prosecute that question very well during the debate. I think J.D. Vance will. I still think the Democrats are, in a little bit of a deficit on that question, which is why I think they need to depart from not just the Biden legacy, but the hard left ideological agenda that's captured the party in the last 4 years, which is very, very unpopular with voters.
You're right. And, it's hard to abandon a policy platform that you've been a part of. I mean, how is Kamala going to distance herself from Joe's policies when, in fact, she's been his partner?
Well, I think the Democratic Party needs...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Julian, go ahead.
I think the Democratic Party needs to do this. Right now, it's been the runaway candidacy. She has been running away from the Biden legacy. Right. She's been running away from the hard ideological extremist agenda of the hard left. She's been running away from her own positions, and she's been running away from the press in terms of doing any type of meaningful interview. I think she has got to come out, face the news media in tough cross-examination, and I think the Democrats would be well put to say, look, we made big mistakes with public debt spending, extremism on sort of cultural issues, hard left positions on climate change. The global situation has descended into disorder, and I think the party has got to say we made bad mistakes and we need to shift to the political center. I don't think they'll do that, but if you look at all the polling, the positions of the Democratic Party are very, very unpopular, and what Kamala Harris is trying to do is make this a campaign about personality rather than competence. Yeah. And I think when it gets down to undecided voters, that won't work.
So what about that, Leo? I mean, Democrats are reportedly worried about working-class voters shifting toward President Trump. Politico writes this: the Teamsters withholding an endorsement for Harris after internal polling showed most respondents back Trump is sparking fresh concerns that the GOP nominee could have higher than expected support among union members, especially men, Leo. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. Listen, the Teamster vote, the non-endorsement for Kamala Harris is historic, Maria. You got the rank and file voting 60% in favor of Donald Trump. Why? Because Trump represents the working class. And Julian's comment, respectfully, for her to separate herself from the Joe Biden policies, impossible. She's an extremist. I mean, you look at her issues on fracking. You look at her issues on illegal immigration, sanctuary city, defund the police. She cannot run away from those problems. And I'll tell you right now, J.D. Vance has a great opportunity. I would cross-examine Tim Walz if I was J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance, tell me what Kamala Harris' policy on illegal immigration, on sanctuary city. He can go through Tim Walz to get him to find out what Kamala Harris' policies are and to expose her. You just recently played that clip where she was chanting with radicals regarding illegal immigration.
Up with education, down, down with deportation. Up with education, down, down with deportation. Up with education, down, down with deportation. Up with education, down, down with deportation.
Yeah, she was saying, down with deportation. What about that, Jillian? Do you agree that the working man, the working woman is for Trump right now, or at least that's the perception?
I think it's not even close.
Yeah.
Biden lost the working class vote by 4%. Harris is trailing working class voters by 17%. If you look at the New York Times Siena poll, working class voters favor Trump on the economy by 27%. The same poll shows that working class voters favor Harris by favor Trump 24 points on the question of immigration. So I think there's no question the Democratic Party is no longer the party of working class or even middle class voters. They have all shifted towards Republican, as the Democrats have taken what I think are extreme left positions on most of the major issues.
Well, look, a nonpartisan law enforcement group called the Police Leaders for Community Safety endorsed Harris yesterday. Earlier this month, Trump won the endorsement of the National Fraternal Order of Police. But some critics are now sounding the alarm after a major IRS-affiliated union, that's the National Treasury Employees Union, endorsed Harris. Conservative commentator Joey Manarino writes this on X: "Get ready to be taxed to death." I mean, Leo, give me a break. This union endorsing Harris right now, they know they're going to get huge amounts of business because she's going to put all her attack dogs on everybody to go look under every rock for more revenue on taxes and raise everybody's taxes. That's what the perception
Maria, that is one endorsement. That is one endorsement no one wants. She's got endorsed by the tax collectors. That is a nightmare for the American public. And you look, Maria, you look at the traditional Democrat groups. They're saying goodbye. Blacks, Hispanics, the Jewish vote. And then she insults the Catholic community by not attending the Al Smith dinner. She has lost traditional Democrat strongholds because Trump represents the working class people, Maria.
Sentiment, sentiment, temperament, temperament, incumbent, incumbent, rank and file, chant, chant, perception, perception, fraternal, fraternal, affiliated, affiliated. Go look under every rock. Go look under every rock. Strongholds. Strongholds.
If you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date with future videos. Thank you for watching.